There's a jack that we made to take the force off the spring in the garage door. Right there. It's made out of two 2x4s, which we basically made like a hole. It'd be like having a hole in the end of a 4x4. Okay, here's the all thread 3/4 inch, and here's the effective 2x4, 4x4 made out of the two 2x4s at the thing. There's the jack. And since the roof is being demoed, this shows up a lot better. There's just a steel plate we had that was junk. It has a screw eye that's just tack welded on, so there's a pocket. And it's a 3/4 inch bolt. And it's got some nuts in there we can tighten up. And that's the jack that goes back to take the force on the spring. And it goes back to where the spring's attached on the rafters. This is, we took two pieces of treated wood, 2x4, and I put it on a table saw. That's basically a table with a circular saw on it, homemade. Actually one from JCPenney years ago, and cut two slots. Cut a strip this way and this way, and these are actually glued together to make the equivalent of like a 4x4 with a big hole in it. This is the piece that was too long, but we did this years ago, and that was the easiest way to make a hole in the end of a 4x4 that's about 3 feet long, 2 to 3 feet long. That's so the rod won't bend. Didn't really have, I tried drilling a hole in it. I wanted treated, that didn't really work well, so I just took some 2x4s and cut two little light cuts in there to pull out a triangular section. Then they were actually glued together with glue, plus there's some screws about every probably foot in there, and that's just this is in compression. This is another take. So what's happened is the front of this is pulled over. The front is actually pushed forward by about an inch and a half, and that's caused problems with the garage door and also with the roof. Okay, because of the problem with the racking of the garage due to the spring over the years, we've had to go through and scab on different pieces of wood here, 2x4, just so you have something to nail to or screw to. And this has halted the problem. Again, there's the, remember it's compression, so the force where the spring ties in is right there, and we tied it right back to where it goes back in the back. So it's just hanging in there. We got our safety rope so that it's not going to drop off, so it doesn't drop out of the pocket. And that's a detail just showing the, it's easiest just instead of boring a hole, we just went ahead and took a screw eye and tack welded it on a plate just so we got some bearing. And that just takes the force out. We had a metal jack to put in there, and then we said we had to take the jack out, and so we ended up just making one that's just always in place. When we first put this in, we tightened this up a little bit, and after a while it loosened up because it keeps on pushing the building back to where it was. Now I've got the problem in roofing here that you can see that the building is racked. Down here at where the ladder is here, it's actually lined up on this one 2x4, and when you get at the top, it's off. 2 pieces of plywood's off almost an inch and a half, and that's because the whole building is racked forward. So the jack in there helps hold the force at bay. There's the jack. We did have a jack over here we're going to use. metal huge jack. That's the one we didn't use. This is a piece of all thread that we used for the jack, 3/4 inch by, it was 24 inch threaded rod. This is what we use for the jack on the pull back the garage door. 3/4 inch all thread in the nuts.